Hello, Freedom 75. I just wanted to hop on. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I haven't did a video in a while, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do one today. So, um, just real quick, today was Saturday. Today was our first ladies' coffee table talk, um, and we didn't get to walk, so we stayed there till almost noon, just talking, and so it was great. I showed up and I was like, if no one comes, this is fine because I'm going to just sit with Jesus and read and drink my coffee. But there were a total of 3 of us, and it was just special. So every third Saturday at Roseberry Coffee Shop in Donnelly, 9:30, we will be there. We will be there to just talk, be a community, but also we opened up the Word today. And just encourage one another. And I wanted to encourage you. So I am pulling from Luke chapter 9. And it was when Jesus was getting ready to feed the 5,000. So the crowds found out where he was going. They followed him. That's verse 11. So chapter 9, verse 11. Late in the afternoon, the 12 disciples came to him and said, send the crowds away, to the nearby villages. Like, dude, we can't feed them. So send them to the different restaurants. Let them take care of themselves. But then Jesus, he already knew what they were thinking, and he just says, you feed them. And they're probably thinking, like, how? Like, why? How could we do that? We don't. And then they even, and it's like the disciples, they did what we've done, so we can relate, right? So Jesus says, you feed them. And they say, but we have only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, they answered. Or are you expecting us to go and actually buy food for this whole crowd? For there were about 5,000 men there, and that's not including children and women. So Jesus replied to them. So here they are, they're having their flesh moment, they're having their emotional moment, they're having all these moments, right? And he says, tell them to sit down in groups about 50 each. And Shannon Moss today at Coffee Talk, she brought something up afterwards because she mentioned in the scriptures, well, why was it 50? And that's what Freedom 75 is trying to do. That's what Mountain Life Church is doing. Whatever church you belong to, there needs to be some type of connection in a smaller group. You go to a church, even if it's only 150, if you're in and you're out, it's really hard to connect. So Shannon made a comment that said, very interesting that he told the disciples, sit them down in groups of 50. That was like, wow, I've really never sat there to think about that. So all the people sat down. This is verse 16 in Luke 9. So the people all sat down. Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. He looked up towards heaven and he blessed them. So here he is going, I'm blessing this food. This is what God has provided, and he is going to multiply it. Then breaking the loaves into pieces, he kept giving the bread and fish to the disciples so that they could distribute it to the people. They all ate as much as they wanted, and afterwards the disciples picked up 12 baskets of leftovers. So picture this, friend. He takes the loaves and the fish and he blesses them. Then he begins to actually physically break them. You kind of think, like, did they just fall from the sky in fragments and pieces, or who was breaking them? And I don't know. I don't know what he did for all of that. Did he sit there and actually do that? But in my mind, it says he just kept breaking them. And it's like, you can't, he was able to do this because he blessed it. The same thing that when he calls us to do something, we come to him and we say, God, bless me on this journey to take care of my body. Bless me in my desires to do A, B, and C. And that as we believe in faith, there has to be an action to it. There has to be okay, I'm going to take the things that he's given me. So I'm going to take my strength and I'm going to go hit play and I'm going to work out. And I'm going to do the 30-minute workout no matter what my stomach feels like, because I need to strengthen my body. And as we take that, I want to encourage you, just because if you've fallen off or you feel like, you know what, I am embarrassed, I can't go back on that thread. They're going to notice. Friend, all we notice is that we miss you and we love you. And that's all. And we want to encourage you guys to understand that God has blessed us and we are partaking in a group thing to be an encouragement to one another. And just like Jesus did, he gave them, he broke it, and then he had the disciples take it out into those groups. Well, how does that relate to Freedom 75 and our goals? Well, it relates because Jesus, he is the bread of life, and he's the one that we want to desire, right? We want to be able to come to him with our life and our goals and say, God, help us. Help my unbelief, Oh, I can't do this because I can't, or whatever may be in the way. It was just like the disciples that are like, do you expect us to go to the store and purchase? It's like they were kind of putting out to him their unbelief, and Jesus is like, he kind of just lets them talk and says, just have them sit down. So in the same regard, I, as someone who wants to see this crew push aside their fears and push aside the unbelief that says you can't accomplish certain goals, and that's a lie, right? And understand that as you bring it to the Father and say, God, take this, help me, he's going to bless it, and you're going to see a multiplication. Today at Ladies Coffee Talk was amazing.